You ever heard that? Or you ever been in a parade or somebody and somebody across the street goes, hey, psst, hey. What is that? What's this? What is that? Those are signals, aren't they? They're nonverbal. They are a communication of an idea. And those ideas are captured in a movement that communicates to you. Does God have any of these? Does God ever have any psst? Does God ever use signals in the miracle delivery process? How do you know when God's asking you to, is actually inviting you to be a part of a miracle for Him? How do you know that? How do you know when God's signaling you, no, not that person, it's that person? How do you know that? And how can you, maybe you have some free time. I've done this many, many times. And you look around and you read the signals that the people are giving to you. Signals that they're telling you, whoa, I need a miracle, because they're there. Or maybe you're in a spot where nobody's giving any signals and you want to deliver a miracle for God. How can you go and stimulate the other person in such a way that they tell you what miracle they need? Wouldn't it be something if that's the way it was? Well, my friend, believe it or not, that's exactly how it is. And the challenge is, I found as I've taught this in many different places, people are stunned that heaven gives so many signals that they have been missing. I remember one evening I was watching a PBS television program about a remarkable old man that was going to tame a wild and rebellious horse. And he went inside this round corral, and the horse was running around and his ears were flickering and everything else, and the horse was ticked off. And the man had a little microphone right here, and he started telling us, he was reading the signals of the horse's nostrils flaring, his ears, his tail, the way he turned his head, and why he wouldn't give him eye contact but would talk like this so he wasn't challenging the horse, and the tone of voice. And he began to tell us what he was going to do, and then to watch what the horse's ears would do. He said, when the horse's ears turn toward me, it's going to mean this. And then it happened. And it kept going on, and we watched it. He never moved from the middle of the corral. He never did. He didn't use a rope. He communicated signals to the horse that the horse understood. And he said, now, we've been working at this for a while, and the horse is starting to trust me. When the horse trusts me fully, he'll start licking his lips with his tongue. And I remember sitting back in my chair saying, what? The horse does that after it licks salt, but it's not going to lick its lips in the middle of a corral. And lo and behold, the horse started licking his lips. And then he said, now I'm going to invite the horse to come on over to see me, because he now trusts me. And he changed his posture, his body language. And friends, I can't believe it, but this is what happened. That wild horse walked over to him and brushed his nose against his arm. I was stunned, flabbergasted. And then a light went on when I was a kid. I had a little dog, not too little dog, it was a mutt really, and it used to go with me up in the mountains. And I loved that dog, and the dog loved me. His name was Spike. And every time I'd come back from school on the bus, he'd be at the bottom of our dirt road, and he would come with me, and we'd go, I'd get my old donkey, and we'd go riding in the woods. It was, man, we were best friends. And at nighttime sometimes, I'd be sitting on the front of our house. My Spike would be right here, and I would be just petting him the way you can if you really love your dog. And he would start licking his lips one after time after time after time. And it wasn't till I heard the story I watched the man with the horse, realizing what Spike was telling me. I understood for the first time the signal the dog was giving to me. Now, wouldn't it be something if you and I could understand the signals that God gives from heaven? When I first stumbled on these and traced them through church history and saw that other men and women who had a heart for God, how they understood it was the same way I was understanding it, and then saw them in Scripture, I realized, oh, the signals are everywhere. And when you can see them and then interpret them, oh, your miracle life will open for you. It's in the chapter called The 5 Signals in You Were Born for This.